So you need to know the day, the time, and the place. So if you go, like I said, you can download. There's multiple apps. You don't have to download the app that I'm telling you. There's a lot of apps. There's free apps. There's apps you can pay for. You can go on over different websites and you can get the birth chart. You just need to know the time, place, and day you were born. Okay, Jayhan, I need you to grab your birth chart so we can go over this together. Ooh, thank you. Thank you for the love you, DJ Jalen. I will be 39 in April. Okay, it's 11:45. Everybody, you have your birth charts? What do you want to cook? I don't want you to cook anything. I want you to go get your birth chart. Yeah, your birth chart? Hello, Johnny. What's up? Six months. So, what do I think about pancakes? You don't want to know that.
Power off. If I tell you what I think about pay pigs, you won't be a pay pig anymore. Smoke with you after class, and we can talk more about these charts. Well, number one, I don't smoke, and number two, we talking about the charts now. So you're either gonna talk about it now with me, or you're gonna talk with yourself about it when you watch the live. Okay? If you want interactive help, it will be right now on the live. Okay, so we are going over our birth charts. Have you ever read your birth chart? I'm from the Midwest. You see me smoke? I stopped smoking. It was 2 years in April. Because basically, your birth chart is a screenshot of the sky when you were born. It tells you your zodiac sign, which is also your sun sign. People just call it the zodiac. But it also gives you your moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, your ascendant, your midheaven, your aspects, your north and south node, like your Lilith, your Chiron. Like, it's so many things on there. We're not going to go over all of that. I'm just going to try to go over the basis because the next book, you need to already have this. And I don't want to be reading a book and y'all like, I have no idea what she's talking about. Thank you for the Forever Rosa. No, I don't feel like every Taurus is the same, which is what I'm trying to explain. You are more than just your sun, okay? You are everything. So you need to know where all your planets are at, not just where your sun was at. Well, we about to break it down. We definitely about to break it down. But I want to make sure everybody has their birth chart before we get started. Explain now. 1 second. So I'm live on 3 apps, y'all. So I am multitasking. I just want to make sure everybody is ready to go before we get started. How do you put a birth chart? So you need to know the day you were born, the time of day that you were born, and the place you were born. You can go to Google, you can type in birth chart generator, you can go to different websites that pop up for free. You can download apps. Like I said, if you're going to go the app way, I highly recommend you download the app called Numerology and Astrology because it also goes into your numerology, which is another useful rabbit hole. If you download the app, we're going to be covering, if you go to numerology at the bottom of the app and then click birth chart, that's where we're going to be at today. Thank you, Sincere, for them roses and the finger hearts. Thank you, Trip. Okay. Well, it is 11:50, so hopefully, if you have your birth chart, you're ready to go, then you'll be ready. If you're not, you can just try to catch up when you decide, oh, I probably should look this up. That's okay, because I'm going to save the live so you can watch it later if you need to start from the beginning. Okay? This is the book that we'll be reading out of. And I know this book is big, but I already read the whole book, so we're not reading the whole book today. We're just reading one section of the book, which is on the board already. All right. Everybody ready? Okay. So I'm going to read and I'm going to show you which part of the board. If you cannot see the board, I already uploaded a screenshot of the board. It is my last post on TikTok and it's my last post on Instagram. YouTube, sorry, unfortunately you guys are going to have to go to either my TikTok or my YouTube for the screenshot of the board if you cannot see the board. Okay, on the board we have the birth chart, the circle, which goes over the houses. It goes over which house rules what part of your life. Okay? So like I said, you are more than just your sun. You are, everything about you is on this birth chart. Then it goes into the planets and what each planet even stands for. Okay? Then it goes over what type of sign is your sign even. Okay? Are you an initiator like big Aries? Okay? Are you a perfecter or a finisher like them Scorpios we love? Also it goes into what the signs even stand for. Okay? Because depending on what sign is ruling your house, that also means something. And of course, we go over also what type of sign your sign is versus the elements. Regarding the elements. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to go as slow as possible. Okay? So if I go too fast, just let me know and we can review. Thank you. Also, if you want to follow along in the book, it's already uploaded on my YouTube. It is uploaded on TikTok. However, you gotta scroll because it's already at the beginning of my TikTok. It is on my YouTube in a playlist. Unicorn Riah is my YouTube. You will just go to the playlist. It says the only astrology book you'll ever need. And we are in chapter 1, I believe. Yeah, we're going to be doing chapter 1 right now. All right, everybody ready? Thank you for the heart me. Okay. First, we're going to go over the dualities. All right, so if you can see where I said where I put signs, it says masculine and feminine. And that is going to tell you which sign. If it has an M, that means that it is a masculine sign. If it has an F, that means it is a feminine sign. All right? So just going down the line. Aries is masculine. Taurus, feminine. Gemini is a masculine sign. Cancer is a feminine sign. Leo is masculine. Virgo is feminine. Libra is masculine. Scorpio is feminine. Sagittarius is masculine. Capricorn is feminine. Aquarius is masculine. And Pisces is feminine. Now we're going to go over what that even means, okay? Dualities. The 12 signs are divided into 2 groups, masculine and feminine. 6 signs are masculine and 6 signs are feminine. This is known as the signs duality. In astrological terms, a masculine sign is direct and energetic. A feminine sign is receptive and magnetic. These masculine and feminine attributes were given to the signs about 2,000 years ago. Today, modern astrologers try to avoid the sexism implicated in these distinctions. A masculine sign does not mean positive and forceful, any more than a feminine sign means negative and weak. In modern terminology, the masculine signs are defined as outer directed and strong through action. The feminine signs are self-contained and strong through inner reserves. Again, the masculine signs are Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. Okay? That just means you're direct and energetic. Okay? Y'all know big Aries. Y'all know how we direct. We're not the only ones. Okay? The feminine signs are Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces, which means that you are receptive and magnetic. Everybody got that? We all good? You never heard that before? That's why we here, okay? We going over all the stuff they didn't want us to know. Go put clothes on. All right. If my outfit is disturbing you, it's okay. You might just want to come back later when the video is posted and just listen to the audio. I was about to quote Maya Angelou on you, but I didn't. Okay. Now we're going to go into the triplexities. So, if you are a fire sign, that is active and enthusiastic. Okay, the fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. If you are an earth sign, that is practical and stable. Okay, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. If you are an air sign, that stands for intellectual and communicative. Okay, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And the water signs are emotional and intuitive. All right, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Everybody see that right here? Why are we talking about this? Oh, you're about to find out. Okay. The 12 signs are also divided into 4 groups containing 3 signs each. Each 3-sign group is called a triplexity, and each of these triplexities denotes an element. The 4 elements are fire, earth, air, and water. In astrology, an element symbolizes a fundamental characterization of the sign. 3 signs are fire signs. They are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Fire signs are active and enthusiastic. 3 are earth signs. They are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Earth signs are practical and stable. 3 signs are air signs. They are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Air signs are intellectual and communicative. And 3 signs are water signs. They are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Water signs are emotional and intuitive. Okay? Then we're going to slide on down the board. Okay? We're going to slide off the screen even for some of you guys. Right here. Y'all see right here? This is where we're going next. Okay? These are the quadruplicities. Next, the 12 signs are divided into 3 groups containing 4 signs each. Okay? Each 4-sign group is called a quadruplicity, and each of these quadruplicities denotes a quality. The 3 qualities are cardinal, fixed, and mutable. In astrology, the quality signifies the sign's interaction with the outside world. 4 signs are cardinal. They are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Cardinal signs are enterprising and outgoing. They are the initiators. Okay? So you know this big Aries, that's why we are initiating all this right now. So what's today's topic? You gotta pay attention. Then we have the fixed signs. They are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Fixed signs are resistant to change. They are perfecters and finishers rather than originators. Okay? I'm telling you right now, I'm an Aries. I like to start things. I like to light fire up under y'all. I like for y'all to pull that potential up out of you that you don't know about. Okay, once I feel like you got it, I'm going to go ahead and let you get to it. I'm not really trying to stay around to the end that much. Okay, that's what the fixed signs is for. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. 4 signs are mutable signs. They are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Mutable signs are flexible, versatile, and adaptable. They are able to adjust to differing circumstances. You will notice that each of the 12 signs falls into a different combination. No one sign in the zodiac has exactly the same duality, element, and quality as another. For example, Aries. Okay, Aries is masculine. See the little M next to Aries. Meaning it is active rather than receptive. Fire, it's a fire sign, meaning that it is excitable and energetic. Cardinal, meaning it is outgoing and open to new experiences. Okay? The sign of Leo is also a masculine fire sign. However, where's that? But unlike Aries, which is cardinal, Leo is a fixed sign. Therefore, Leo is extroverted and passionate like Aries, but also firm in its opinions, convinced of being on the side of truth in its passions, and not as willing as Aries to abandon an unworkable plan and go on to something new. Okay? Polarities. Finally, the 12 signs are divided into 6 groups containing 2 signs each. Each 2-sign group is called a polarity, meaning opposite. Each sign in the zodiac has a polarity, which is its opposite side in the other half of the zodiac. All right? So, if you were to look at this, you would go across. That's how you find your polarity real quick, real fast, okay? But like I said, you need your birth chart. So, hopefully you don't got your birth charts. All right? Aries and, each sign of the 2 signs express opposite characteristics. So Aries and Libra are a polarity. Aries is the sign of self. The opposite sign, Libra, is the sign of partnerships. Okay? You probably always gonna see an Aries by themselves doing what they want, when they want, how they want it, where they want it. Libra is always gonna have a buddy. You know, they gonna roll together. We cool. We all right by ourselves. Okay. Sometimes we prefer it, and it's no shade. It's just it's easy taking care of yourself. But anyway, let me see through the book. Taurus and Scorpio are a polarity. Taurus is the sign of personal possessions. The opposite sign, Scorpio, is the sign of legacies and shared possessions. Gemini and Sagittarius are a polarity. Gemini is the sign of self-expression. The opposite sign, Sagittarius, is the sign of philosophy and higher thinking, of expression on a wider level. Thank you. Cancer and Capricorn are a polarity. Cancer is the sign of home life. The opposite sign, Capricorn, is the sign of public life. Leo and Aquarius are a polarity. Leo is the sign of personal pleasure and creativity. The opposite sign, Aquarius, is a sign of hopes and ideals on a larger scale. Virgo and Pisces are a polarity. Virgo is the sign of work and self-improvement. The opposite sign, Pisces, is a sign of dreams and self-delusion. All right. Is everybody up to speed so far? My sun is in Aries, big Aries, third zone Aries, gang gang. All right, everybody got that? Okay, good, because we about to go to the other book. This was just the intro, okay? Let's just go over these planets real quick so you know what the planets stand for. But before we do that, let's go over the houses. Okay, so when you look at your birth chart, you're going to see this wheel, and it's going to have dots and lines and all of that on there, okay? The dots and all those other things, those are where your planets are at. These are separated into 12 houses, all right? Now, if you go to your birth chart, look all the way to the left, this will be your first house. It's going to be a little symbol there that tells you the sign of your first house too. But before we get into that, let me just tell you what each house stands for regarding your life. Okay? So the first house is the house of self. Okay? The second house is the house of money and possessions. The third house is communication. The fourth house is home. The fifth house is creativity and sex. The sixth house, is service and health. The seventh house is partnerships and marriage. The eighth house is death and regeneration. The ninth house is mental exploration and long distance travel. The 10th house is career and public standing. The 11th house is friends, hopes, and wishes. And the 12th house is secrets, sorrow, and self-undoing. Okay? So if you have planets in these houses, you want to see which planet is in which area of my life. Okay? So you're going to see the planets on your birth chart. You want to pay attention to the house that they are in. All right? And it's not to say that if you don't have planets in, let's say, your fourth house, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have no home life. It just means it's going to be regular, okay? You're going to have major events where you have planets at, all right? It's almost like tarot, like the major and the minor arcana. Everybody got that? So then, depending on which planet is in which house, these are what the planets stand for. Okay? The sun is vitality and individuality. The moon is your emotions and instincts. Mercury is the mind. Venus, love and pleasure. Mars, energy and assertiveness. Jupiter, luck and expansion. Saturn, discipline and limitation. Uranus, change and originality. Neptune, spirituality and illusion. And Pluto, transformation. Now you got your Lilith and your Chiron and your midheaven and your north and south nodes and your aspects. But I didn't want to confuse you guys, so we're going to keep it. Let's try to stay here until another day. Has everybody got that so far? Okay, now we're going to go over the signs. Aries stands for the self. Taurus is personal possessions. Gemini, self-expression. Cancer, home life. Leo, personal pleasure and creativity. Virgo, work and self-improvement. Libra, partnerships. Scorpio, legacies and shared possessions. Sagittarius, philosophy and higher thinking of expression on a wider level. Capricorn, public life. Aquarius, hopes and ideals on a larger scale. And then Pisces, dreams and self-illusion. Everybody, y'all got that? We all good? Now, if you go on this book, thank you, on my, on my YouTube, it will tell you more of what each planet stands for, okay? In depth. And we can go over that part if we have time at the end. I really want to go over the houses today. So, like I said, you need your birth chart for this part. Like, there's no more stalling. You absolutely need to have it for the rest of this. Thank you for the floating hearts and the hundos. Leo what? Your sun? Your moon? No, it's your Venus, right? Leo what? Don't be shy. Leo what? Where's your Leo at? Which sign you got Leo in? Gemini what? Okay? You probably have not been asked these questions before. So it's not a trick question. It's a, hey, there's more to the story, okay? They only gave us chapter 1. You are more than just your Leo or your Gemini sun, okay? We going over all of them. You're a Virgo sun. Where's your moon at, you know? How is the emotional side of you that is completely different from your sun sign? You know? How do you communicate? That's your Mercury. How do you love? That's Venus. So you need to know more than just Aries gang gang. Okay? You're not just your sun. You have planets everywhere. So you need to know where they're at. Okay? When y'all be talking about compatibility, and y'all be like, oh, is this sun compatible with this compatible? And I'm like, where is the rest of the birth chart? You know? All right. First, we're going to go over these houses, okay? Because I just gave y'all a little snippet, little brief synopsis. But let's go over these more so they can make more sense. All right? The first house. All right. So if you have planets in your first house right here, this is the house you need to look at on your birth chart right now. Okay. This is the house of self. It is the most personal and powerful house in your chart, for it symbolizes you, your mannerisms, your style, your disposition, and temperament. This is the house of your outward behavior, your likes and dislikes. The first house reveals both the way you present yourself to others and the way the outside world sees you. It often indicates your physical characteristics, especially your head and facial features. Sometimes called the house of self-interest, it denotes what you want in life and how you go about achieving it. The place in your chart at which this house begins is the most important point in the horoscope, for it determines where all the other houses will follow. In astrology, the first house is thought of as a giant lens through which the rest of your chart is seen and interpreted. Okay? So that's why you need to know what time you were born, to know which sign was on the rising, also called your ascendant. Y'all be like sun, moon, rising? That's what they're talking about. Which sign was on the way? That's how you know all the signs in your house, which is why you need the time that you were born. You need to know the place that you were born too, because the sky is not the same everywhere. It's different for everybody. Anybody have questions on the first house? No? Everybody good? Okay, back. The second house. This one on your birth chart. Think of it like a pizza. Alright, this slice right here. The second house. This is the house of money and possessions. It relates to what you own in life and what you will acquire, your income, and your financial prospects. This is the house of movable possessions, the things you physically take with you as you move through life. The second house also tells how you feel about money and possessions and gives a clue to the kinds of objects with which you like to surround yourself. To a certain extent, it gives a picture of your earning power and ability to handle money. The second house often shows what activities and projects may be a lucrative source of income for you. Okay? You know I am. Okay? Any questions on the second house? No questions? Yes, it's your first house. Thank you for the flowers. PJ, so you need to get your birth chart. You know what time you were born? If you know the time you were born, the day you were born, and the place you were born, you can go to Google and type in birth chart generator. You need to put that information in there. Or you can go to the app store and get you a birth chart app. I highly recommend going to an app store if you have iPhone and download a numerology and astrology. Is a green app so that you can have the numerology side as well. Plus, it goes real in depth and it doesn't sugarcoat. And I'm an Aries. I'm a real direct and bold. I don't like apps that sugarcoat, so I need you to give it to me straight. This is a give it to you straight app. Might hurt your feelings a little bit, but you'll be all right. That's for shadow work. It's called numerology and astrology. Gemini, tell you about yourself? All right, well, Gemini, what I need you to do is I need you to get your birth chart, okay? You can either go to Google, DuckDuckGo, MSN, whatever browser y'all be using, go to the browser and type in birth chart generator, okay? Because you are more than just your sun, Gemini. We are going over the houses in your birth chart that tell the specific areas of your life and what's going on in your life. So you need to have the entire thing. Okay? What you got for Taurus? I got the same thing for you, Taurus. You need to get your whole birth chart, Taurus. You need to get where all your planets at, Taurus. You need to know which planets are in which houses, Taurus. Okay? What about Libra? Same thing, Libra. Same thing. You need to know where all your planets at, Libra. So you're saying I'm a Libra, which translates to my sun is in Libra. Okay? Vitality and individuality. But are your emotions and instincts in Libra? You know? Is your mind, love, pleasure, energy, and that sort of luck and expression, discipline, limitation, change, originality, spiritual illusion, and transformation in Libra? No. Okay? So you need the whole snapshot. Not just your sun. Okay, so just another thing. Don't tell people your big three. So you can take your information and put it in these apps, put it in these websites, but don't just be like, hey y'all, my sun, moon, and rising is this. Because I already told you what you need your rising for. To start your chart. Okay? You don't be wanting to give people your chart. You don't want them to know everything is about to happen in your life. You know, that's how people manipulate you with your information. So when you get information, that's why we're going over this without nobody coming up, because I don't want nobody to give their information away. No, I just told you not to tell people your rising, and you just typed it in there. Child. Look at your birth chart. You need to look the chart right now, okay? We're looking at the chart right now. So I'm glad you know where your sun is at and your rising, so you start your chart. However, okay? Now we're gonna go over the third house if nobody else has any questions. Child, okay. The third house is the house of communication. The third house relates to your immediate environment in three major areas: self-expression, your family ties, and day-to-day travel. This house governs the way you think, speak, and write. Logic, memory, and manual skills are its domain. The third house often indicates what kind of early education you received and your ability to study and learn. Your relationships with brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, cousins and neighbors are part of this house influence. Short trips and the vehicles for this type of travel are governed by the third house, especially the travel you do for work and education. That is this third house right here on your chart at the bottom. This one. What's your question? Am I a teacher? No, I'm an initiator. What's next with the third house? So, you want me to read the third house over? Okay. This is the house of communication. The third house relates to your immediate environment in three major areas: self expression, your family ties, and day to day travel. This house governs the way you think, speak, and write. Logic, memory, and manual skill are its domain. The third house often indicates what kind of early education you received and your ability to study and learn. Your relationships with brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, cousins and neighbors are part of this house's influence. Short trips in the vehicles for this type of travel are governed by the third house, especially the travel you do for work or education. The next house, which is right here, is the house of home, your fourth house. Okay? The fourth house governs your home life in the past, the present, and the future. It indicates the kind of home you had in childhood and your relationship with parents. What you have brought into this life from your ancestors is in its domain. In the present, the fourth house relates to the kind of home you make for yourself. Your current domestic affairs are under its influence, as are real estate holdings and the ownership of land. This house also rules over the closing years of your life, the kind of security you seek for old age. The fourth house is one of the more mystical houses in your chart, for it represents what you keep protected and secluded from the rest of the world. The place you call home in both a physical and an emotional sense. Any questions about the fourth house? Okay, bet. The fifth house was right here in the corner. This is the house of creativity and sex. The fifth house rules over everything you do for pleasure and to express yourself creatively. Your sexual nature, the most basic creative urge in your psyche, is a large part of its domain. Children and the joy you receive from them are governed by this house. The fifth house also relates to entertainment, holidays, amusements, and the arts. It rules love affairs, new undertakings in life, speculation and gambles, and games of chance. It is a house that expresses your artistic talents as well as your ability to enjoy yourself in life. In childhood, pets and playmates are part of this house, where it holds sway over all the things to which you instinctually give affection. This is the house of your heart. What's your question? So y'all, I'm live on 3 different apps right now. This one is YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Yes, it matters. It matters which sign rules each house and which planets are in that house. YouTube does right now. All right. So next we have the sixth house, which is right here on your birth chart. So if you was to look at the half, which I'm not even gonna say that because your degrees may be different. This is the house of service and of health. Often called the house of service to others, it indicates your need to help others and to be useful in the world. In the old days, it governs a person's attitude towards servants and those of inferior standing. In the modern day, this house rules your relationship with the people you work with those who are your subordinates, and with your employers. The sixth house also relates to your state of health and especially applies to illness brought on by worry or emotional upsets. This house often signifies whether you have a robust or delicate constitution and what kind of diseases you may be subject to. The sixth house is right here. Okay. Next, we have the seventh house. Right, it's okay. So if you get your birth chart, it will give you all this information. So you just need to know the day, the time, and the place you were born to get your birth chart. We're going over our astrology birth chart. So it should be on your birth certificate. All right. No, actually, I have more people on YouTube right now than TikTok and then Instagram. Thank you, Cosmic. All right. The seventh house. This is the house of partnerships and marriage. On a personal level, it relates to your husband or wife, the mate you choose in life. It often indicates what kind of marriage you will have and whether you might divorce or remarry. This is your house of partnerships, not only in marriage, but also in work, business, legal affairs, and sometimes in politics. It covers legal unions and contracts you enter into, and sometimes in politics. It covers legal unions or contracts you enter into in both sides of a question or dispute. The seventh house concerns your ability to work harmoniously with others. Paradoxically, it also governs what astrologers call your open enemies, those who are usually your adversaries in a business or professional world. The seventh house is the opposite from the first house of self. Here you blend your personality with others in order to pursue shared goals. Okay, y'all, so we just finished yoga. If you guys don't like my outfit, it's okay. You know, I wasn't about to change. We just went with the flow. We finished yoga, got up, and went straight to the board. So you might just want to wait until I post a live and then just listen to the audio. If the visual is too much for you, I understand. It's cool. Just when I post a live, just listen to it. You don't have to watch it. Okay. Anybody have any questions on the seventh house? The ninth house is right here. We're almost there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. The 8th house. This is the house of death and regeneration. The 8th house is one of the 3 mystical houses in your chart. The others are the 4th and the 12th, and one of the most difficult to understand. Sometimes called the house of spiritual transformation, it rules the life forces that surround sex, death, birth, and the afterlife. It concerns legacies and what you inherit from the dead, both materially and spiritually. Money that belongs to your partner and taxes and debt are also in this house's domain. The 8th house may give some indication of the conditions surrounding your death, although the precise time always remains a mystery. Surgery is governed by this house since it relates to regeneration. This is the house of psychic powers and occult studies and knowledge. It's right here. Any questions? Nope. Nope. Okay. Now, the 9th house. This is the house of mental exploration and long distance travel. The 9th house can be thought of as a widening of the 3rd house. Study, travel, and mental pursuits are expanded in the 9th house on a much wider plane. This is the house of the higher mind. Under its domain are higher education, philosophy, and the study in depth of profound subjects. Long journeys of both the mind and the physical body are controlled by this house. It concerns actual travel to foreign lands and business interests in other countries. It governs the meeting of foreigners who expand your thinking and also the study of languages. The 9th house rules your public expression of ideas and is therefore the house of publishing and literary effort. No questions? All right, bet. The 10th house. This is the house of career and public standing. Its opposite house, the 4th house, rules the home. The 10th house rules all matters outside the home, your profession, your status in the community, and your public reputation. It has also been called the house of ambition, aspiration, and attainment. This house also reveals in what esteem you are held by others. The 10th house reflects your image, as shown in the power, position, and honors that you may achieve. It is an outward expression of your talents, the way you accept responsibility, the place you arrive at through your own efforts. This house has a great influence on your material success in life. Any questions on the 10th house? We already did yoga. It's already posted. It's posted on my Instagram. So you missed yoga, sorry. Okay. The 11th house, which is over here in the corner. This is the house of friends and of hopes and wishes. Unlike its opposite house, the 5th house, which its concerns for immediate pleasures, the 11th house has to do with long-term dreams and goals, and with intellectual pleasures. This house governs your involvement with groups and organizations that have to do with your work, profession, or family. The clubs, societies, and political associations you belong to are under its domain. This house often indicates the kind of friends and acquaintances who can best further your interests and objectives in life. The 11th house reflects your ability to enjoy other people. On its highest level, this house represents the harmonious working together of all people, each one doing what best expresses his or her individual personality. It is the house of idealism and vision. And the last house, the 12th house over here, this is the house of secrets, sorrow, and self-undoing. It is the most mystical of all the houses, the final house, the end of the circle. It is not necessarily a negative and gloomy place, but it does define the limitations placed on your life, including by yourself through self-undoing behavior. This house governs disappointments, accidents, trouble, and self-defeat. It rules unseen forces, secret enemies, escapism, asylums, hospitals, and prisons. The 12th house has been called the house of karma, the house of spiritual debt, for it contains the rewards and punishments for the deeds one commits in the world. It is associated with psychic powers and the ability to discover at last the meaning of life. All right, now, those are the houses, okay? Now, like I said, if you look at your birth chart, some of your houses have planets in them, okay? Depending on which planet is in which house means something, okay? The whole circle means something. We're going to get into it. Everybody ready? All right. One of the guideposts an astrologer looks at when interpreting your birth chart is which houses in your horoscope are occupied by planets. Any house in your chart that has one or more planets in it emphasizes and is strengthened by their presence in specific ways. For example, Jupiter, which is the planet of luck, in your second house of possessions indicates ease in making money. Whereas Jupiter in your seventh house of partnerships means you tend to make gains through your partnerships or marriage. Mars, the planet of assertiveness, in your third house of communication, designates intellectual sharpness and a powerful talent to communicate effectively. Whereas Mars in your eighth house of regeneration indicates strong willpower, volcanic passion, and an interest in the occult. Venus, the planet of love and beauty in your first house of self, accentuates social ease, a refined aesthetic nature, and a good-looking physical appearance. Whereas Venus in your fourth house of home indicates that you are likely to have a comfortable, beautiful domicile and to have enjoyed a happy childhood. Each planet in each house has a specific meaning, and the following rundown will serve as a useful guide. In order to apply these descriptions to yourself, however, you must first set up your birth chart, okay? This is it. I've been talking for 25 minutes. If you ain't got your birth chart by now, I promise you the rest of this is going to be boring. You might as well just swipe up, okay? You need your birth chart for the rest of this. All right? Once you set down your houses and discover which planets occupy which houses, the following descriptions will help you interpret your horoscope. All right. Now, we're going to start with the first house. So, if you have planets, if you look at your birth chart, because you went to an app or you went to a website and you pulled your birth chart, and there are planets in the first house, that is the house we're covering first. Do not put which planets is in your first house, okay? Just keep it to yourself. All right? I'm going to read all of them. So when I get to the planet that it says is in your first house, that's when you want to pay attention. All right? You don't have to pay attention if you don't want to the house where you don't have it. But, I mean, it just doesn't mean that you're not going to have these issues or... Issues isn't a good word. It doesn't mean you're not gonna have lessons in these areas. It just means that you're gonna have your major lessons are in the other areas. Okay? So look at your birth chart. And you might have to scroll down because at first it might be like, I don't know what this is, but normally it tells you what is in each house. So scroll down a little bit underneath the circle to where it tells you where your planets are. Look to see if it says which planets are in the first house. Everybody got that? All right. So the first house, again, the house of self. If your sun is in the first house, the planet of vitality and individuality, this is what this means, okay? You have a strong will and sense of self, and you like lots of attention. You are an independent person with leadership ability, good points, good constitution, generous, confident, dignified. Bad points: authoritative, egotistical, and dictatorial. Okay? If you have the moon in your first house, again, this house right here. If you have the moon in your first house, the planet of emotions and instincts, you are imaginative in the way you express yourself and intuitive about other people. Home and family mean a great deal to you, and you remember your childhood with nostalgia. You want to be appreciated and admired and would like to be famous. Good points: receptive, romantic, curious. Bad points: oversensitive, moody, a tendency to dissipate energies. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. Okay, so you need to look. This is your birth chart, right? These are the different houses. So look at your birth chart and see which planets are in this house right here, the first house. If it's not any there, just hold tight till we get to the house that has your planet, that has planets in it. Yes. The board is backwards. Yeah, it's backwards for you guys, but it is not backwards if you come on my TikTok. Also, if you go on TikTok or you come on Instagram, the board is posted so that you can see it. It's not. I can't flip the screen. Mirror the screen on here. All right. If you have Mercury in the first house, which is the planet of the mind, you are mentally alert, inquisitive, and humorous, and you need intellectual challenge. You like to travel and enjoy talking to people. You may be known as an idea person and are probably a good mimic. Good points: adaptable, active, good at writing and speaking. Bad points: restless, indecisive, think too much about yourself. My YouTube is Unicorn Riah. Okay, period. If you have Venus in your first house, sorry, I know I'm in somebody's way. This house right here, this is the one we're looking at in your birth chart. If you have Venus in this house, the planet of love and pleasure, you are affectionate, flirtatious, and usually quite good looking. You have charming social manners and like to have companionship. Your appearance is important to you, and you tend to spend too much money on yourself. Good points: sympathetic, artistic, a cheerful personality. Bad points: lazy, narcissistic, too fond of pleasure and luxury. No, Peewee, this is what we are talking about. Okay. All right. If you have Mars in your first house, the planet of energy and assertiveness, you are impulsive and independent and dislike taking advice from others. You approach new projects with energy and confidence and are capable of hard work. You have strong sex desires and are passionate in lovemaking. Good points: strong body, self-assertive, courageous. Bad points: inconsiderate, pushy, domineering, and accident prone. It's okay. I'm streaming on 3 apps, so I'm also on YouTube and Instagram right now. Oh, y'all about to die? Hold on. We gotta switch tripods so I can put you guys on the charger. One second. Sorry, TikTok. I know that's a little low, but I have to reach the charger. I got the short charger. I don't know what the kids did with my long charger. So, unfortunately, y'all got that big glare too, but we already covered this part, so you should be okay. All right. So, I'm crying. Okay, if that's okay, just do something else and just listen in the background. Don't watch. Just listen. Oh, thank you for the flowing heart. All right. If you have Jupiter in your first house, this house right here, if Jupiter is in there, this is for you. In Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, you have a buoyant, cheerful disposition and are a success socially. You inspire confidence, are optimistic, and tend to be generous with your time and energy. You are blessed with luck, and things usually turn out for the best in life. Good points: jovial, broad minded, expansive, kind. Bad points: self indulgent, gullible, with a marked tendency to gain weight. You are sometimes faithless in love. You raising your hand? What's your question? Mercury. If you have Mercury, you are mentally alert, inquisitive, and humorous, and you need intellectual challenge. You like to travel and enjoy talking to people. You may be known as an idea person and are probably a good mimic. Good points: adaptable, active, good at writing and speaking. Bad points: restless, indecisive, think too much about yourself. Oh, thank you. Okay, again, YouTube. I don't know why y'all got this main character going on today. All right. I am also live on TikTok and on Instagram. You are more than welcome to follow me and watch all 3 lives. Okay. Thank you, big baby. Oh, yeah, it's from the flowing hearts. Okay? All right, next, Saturn. If you have Saturn in the first house, sorry. I wish I could push you over here, but I'm sorry. I'm going to be blocking you now, TikTok. Sorry. So sorry. Saturn, the planet of discipline and limitation. You are persistent, have organizing ability, and are capable of self-discipline. You are patient and a bit shy, feel nervous underneath, which you keep under tight self-control, and you want your talents and work to be recognized. Good points: industrious, good powers of endurance, a keen sense of responsibility. Bad points: stubborn and set in ways, afraid of new beginnings, and secretive. You want the TikTok view? Oh, you gotta come on TikTok. All right. Uranus. If you have Uranus in your first house in your birth chart, you can't see the board. My bad. You see? If you need a screenshot of the board, there is a picture on my TikTok and there is a picture on my Instagram so that you can see it. All right. If you have Uranus, the planet of change and originality, in the first house, you have an inventive mind and may take up an unusual interest or hobbies. Your life is often marked by sudden and unexpected beginnings. You have a high-strung personality and an independent way of looking at things. You can be strong-willed about getting your own way. Good points: original, creative, intuitive. Bad points: inconsiderate, stubborn, eccentric, Neptune. If you have Neptune in the first house, the planet of spirituality and illusion, you are imaginative and impressionable and can use this in artistic work. You tend to be absent-minded because you like to daydream. You are fond of luxury and are sometimes lazy. A lot of your time is spent on or near the sea. Good points. Visionary, idealistic, sensitive to other people. Hold on. Hello?
Mom.
Yeah.
Can you pick me up from school at 2:15?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, love you.
Alright, wait, Mom.
Yeah.
Don't like park in like near the school, like park like across it. You know what I'm saying?
Where this by the street light?
Nah, it's like if you go up there like towards your school, there's like houses and apartments, and like you can go turn left in there.
Okay. By the crosswalk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, Larry, love you.
I love you too. Oh dang, Instagram. Okay, there we go. Alright, my bad. Neptune. Oh, we already did Neptune. No, we didn't. Oh yeah. Good points. Visionary, idealistic, sensitive to other people. Bad points. Procrastinating, changeable, weak-willed, and never satisfied. And finally, if you have Pluto in the first house, okay, so Juju, look at your birth chart, right? And then you see this first house right here on your birth chart. Look to see if there are any planets, any little circles, any little symbols in this first house. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Pierre. Thank you, Mr. Shiz Money. And if you don't, it's fine. We're gonna go on to the next house after we do Pluto. My bad. I'm sorry. It's probably because my son just called me, so it probably is freezing. After Pluto, I'm gonna hang up and restart it live. But yeah, you can come to YouTube or TikTok. Okay. If you have Pluto in your first house, the planet of trans. Okay, I'm gonna hang up now because it just froze for me too. So sorry. So sorry. Let's start it over. My bad, Instagram. So anytime somebody calls me, it definitely throws off my live. But my phone, I normally have it on Do Not Disturb, but my kids, they get to go through even if it's on Do Not Disturb. So we're back. We left off at Pluto. So if you have Pluto in the first house, this is what this means. The planet of transformation. You have an intense and magnetic personality and you seek adventure. You learned to be self-sufficient when you were young and inclined to be a loner. Good points. Great strength. Relentless in pursuing a goal. Potential for self-transformation. Bad points. Inscrutable. Vindictive. And ruthless. Alright. Everybody got the first house done, right? If you had a planet there, did everybody hear their planet in the first house? I am 38. Pee-wee. Look at your birth chart, okay? Look to see which houses are in the first house. If you have multiple planets in a house, that is in an intense area of your life. If you have 3 or more, that is called a stellium. I'm being a teacher right here on live. Alright? Ain't no after school, ain't no extra credit. This is it right here. Alright? If you miss it here, I do post the live so you can see it on Instagram. Instagram is having connection issues. I'm gonna have to restart Instagram. I'm gonna have to restart again and just restart my phone. Hold on, y'all. I gotta restart my phone. All right. Welcome back, Instagram. Sorry. Hopefully the connection does not cancel again. Alright, where we left off at, I'm sorry, y'all, we gotta read Pluto again because my last live did not save on Instagram. So, if you have Pluto in the first house, Pluto is the planet of transformation. You have an intense and magnetic personality and you seek adventure. You learn to be self-sufficient when you were young and are inclined to be a loner. Good points. Great strength. Relentless in pursuing a goal. Potential for self-transformation. Bad points are inscrutable, vindictive, and relentless. My bad, I'm back. So, I had to restart the phone, but we shouldn't have had no more issues. But if not, just make sure you follow me on YouTube and TikTok too. As a backup. Alright, that's it for the first house. Now we're going to go over the second house. You're an Aquarius. Your sun is an Aquarius. Okay, well, which house is your sun in? On your birth chart. Which house is your sun in? You a Virgo? Okay, which house is your sun in, Virgo? You a Virgo too? Which house is your sun in? You Libra? Alright, Libra. Which house is your Libra in? I mean, which house is your sun in, Libra? No, no. That's why we're going over this today. All right. We need y'all to know where all of your planets are at. More than just your sun. We need you to know which which house stands for what. Which sign ruling that house stands for what. Okay? All of it matters, I promise. It looks very overwhelming, but all of it matters. Even the transits and everything, the aspects, all of it matters. Now, we're not going to cover all of it today because I don't want to overwhelm you guys. However, I already did read this entire book to you guys, and it is on a playlist in my YouTube, Unicorn Riah. So if you already know this section and you want to skip ahead, go ahead and go to YouTube. You can't see it? Okay. That is because Instagram does not allow me to mirror the screen like TikTok does. So it is mirrored on TikTok and you can see everything. I also posted a picture so that you can see the picture on TikTok and it's posted on Instagram. Alright? Everybody good? Okay, bet. Alright, now we're going to go over the second house. So if you have planets in the second house, which rules money and possessions, I need you to look at your birth chart and see which planets are in your second house. When I'm going to go over all of them, but I want you to pay special attention when it comes to the planet that's in your second house. Planet or planets. Okay? If your sun is in the second house, the planet of vitality and individuality, you need security and tend to attract money, but it comes into and out of your life rather quickly. You like to spend on luxuries, and many of your possessions increase in value over time. You often gain through influential people. Good points. Generous. Great reserves of strength. Persistent. Creative in financial affairs. Bad points. Possessive. Greedy. Ostentatious. Money and possessions become status symbols. Okay, period. But I want you to pull up your birth chart so that it can make sense. You know, because I can read to you and you can just sit here. Or you can go through your birth chart and we can do it together. All right. If you have the moon in your second house, the planet of emotions and instincts, you are able to earn money creatively by using your imagination and through the public, selling to the public, appearing in public, etc. Your financial affairs fluctuate and tend to be unsettled. You are sometimes thrifty and careful, and other times wasteful and careless. Good points. Tenacious with a keen sense for what is lucrative, security-minded with an ability to plan for the future. Bad points. Greedy, extravagant. You spend money emotionally and often unwise. What is my sign? My sun, my moon, my Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto. Which one? Which sign do you want? I'm not giving you my rising sign. I'm not giving. Listen, y'all. Stop giving people your rising. My sun is in Aries. My moon is in Sagittarius. When I give you my rising sign, you can generate my birth chart, which I'm not giving you. Okay? So stop giving people your big three. It's nobody's business. Okay? All right. If you have Mercury in the second house, the planet of the mind, you are able to earn money in intellectual enterprises, writing, teaching, lecturing, or in any field of communications. You like to spend money on travel and education and for gadgets that make your life easier. Sometimes you have more than one source of income. Good points. Quick mind for financial opportunity. Good bargaining powers. Talent for salesmanship. Bad points. Careless with money. Impractical. Vulnerable to trickery and theft. If you have Venus in your second house, the planet of love and pleasure, you tend to prosper through social connections, marriage, or artistic pursuits. Business ventures with a partner are lucrative. You like to spend on clothes, jewels, personal adornment, and pleasures. If you are a man, you tend to spend money on women. Good points. Generous, fair and honest in financial dealings. An ability to use beautiful things profitably. Fashion, decorating, art gallery, etc. Bad points. Extravagance. Love of luxury and expensive possessions. Inadequate willpower. If you have... Oh, any questions? No. Thank you. Mars, the planet of energy and assertiveness in the second house. You have good earning power and make gains through your own effort and competitiveness. Money is important to you, and you aggressively go after it. You tend to have frequent financial crises, but you recover quickly. Good points. Efficient. Enterprising about new profit-making ideas. Often have your own business. Bad points. Impulsive spender. Lavish. Careless. Vulnerable to losses because of fire, haste, or rashness. So, we're going over the whole birth chart, right? Right now, that was Mars, okay? So you can't say that sounds like a Libra because we're not going over the sun. That was Mars. So that's what I'm saying. You need to know where all of your planets are at. Not just that your sun was in Libra. Which house was your sun in? Okay? Where is your Mars on your birth chart, which is what we're covering right now, if it's in the second house? All right? Is your second house even in Libra? You know, this is why you need to have your birth chart. You can't guess. Child, y'all going back and forth with this charger. Is the brightness up or something? Because why is it taking for... Oh, that's why the brightness is all the way up. Let's see. Alright, sorry. I had to dim y'all down because y'all was killing my battery. Instagram, y'all good. We're on 44%. Alright. If you look at your birth chart that you pulled up and you're not guessing, and you look at the second house, and you have Jupiter in your second house, this is for you. Okay? Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion. You tend to make money easily and have a talent for financial dealings. Other people are attracted to your expansive ways, and you often benefit through social contacts. Depending on the other factors in your chart, you will gain influence or spend all you get in wild extravagance. Traveling or the travel industry is another source of wealth for you. Good points. Honest in dealings, generous, visionary about new money-making ideas. Bad points. Materialistic, careless, apt to suffer loss through legal entanglements. Yes. But I can read your chart and you're going to gain nothing from it. I want you to learn how to read your chart so that you can read your chart and work on this and then reread it and then work on this and then reread it and watch as it transitions through the signs. Like, reading charts is good. It is. A lot of people make money, and I hope y'all not mad at me. However, why don't you just want to know it yourself? Learn it yourself. So that's why we're doing this. Okay? Don't take the rest of the day off. It's okay. I'm going to save the live. Instagram is literally going to post the live as soon as I hang up. So get to the money. You know, stand on business. This ain't going nowhere. It's also going to post on YouTube too. It's just probably going to post tomorrow. Any other questions? Oh, right. Okay. If you have Saturn in your second house in your birth chart, the planet of discipline and limitation, you are ambitious about acquiring material comfort and tend to make long-range financial plans. You are thrifty and shrewd, cautious about your investments. Blue chip stocks are more your style than get-rich-quick schemes. Money doesn't come in quickly. Gain is slow and steady, and you must put in considerable effort. Good points. Practical, persevering, hardworking. Bad points. Stingy. May encounter delays and obstacles in acquiring money. If you have Uranus in your second house in your birth chart, the planet of change and originality, you tend to have an unusual source of income, or your money opportunities pop up suddenly and unexpectedly. Your long-term financial picture will probably have spectacular fluctuations. If there are no opposing influences in your chart, you can expect to gain overall. Antiques, curios, and collectibles are lucrative for you. Good points. Inventive, resourceful, unusual eye for value. Bad points. Sudden losses, erratic money dealings, financial problems with friends. All right. If you have Neptune in the second house, the planet of spirituality and illusion, you are intuitive and imaginative about making money. A more logical person would say your financial affairs are not run in a business-like way. In acquiring objects, you tend to be more interested in their aesthetic value. their meaning to you, rather than their material value. Good points. Generous to others in need. Gain through creative work. Unmaterialistic. Bad points. A careless or indifferent attitude toward money. Too easily imposed on or swindled. And lazy. All right. And finally, if you have Pluto in your second house in your birth chart, the planet of transformation, you are adventurous about money and not afraid of taking risks. You like to diversify, and during your lifetime, there may be several changes in your source of income. You tend to become obsessed with possessions and finances. Good points. Unique fiscal talent, resourcefulness, ability to win high return on your effort. Bad points. Squanderer, selfish, tendency to be unscrumptious. And that is the end of the second house. So does anybody need me to go over a planet in their second house that they missed because they wasn't in here? Your Venus is in the second house. Uranus. All right, I'll do Venus and Uranus. Venus, if you have Venus in the second house, the planet of love and pleasure, you tend to prosper through social connections, marriage, or artistic pursuits. Business ventures with a partner are lucrative. You like to spend on clothes, jewels, personal adornment, and pleasures. If you are a man, you tend to spend money on women. Good points. Generous, fair and honest in financial dealings. An ability to use beautiful things profitably. Fashion, decorating, art gallery, etc. Bad points. Extravagance. Love of luxury and expensive possessions. Inadequate willpower. And if you have Uranus in the second house, the planet of change and originality, you tend to have an unusual source of income, or your money opportunities pop up suddenly and unexpectedly. Your long-term financial picture will probably have spectacular fluctuations. If there are no opposing influences in your chart, you can expect to gain overall. Antiques, curios, and collectibles are lucrative for you. Good points. Inventive, resourceful, unusual eye for value. Bad points. Sudden losses, erratic money dealings, financial problems with friends. Yes, we are going over our astrological birth chart. Any questions before we go on to the third house? That's fine. Just wait till we get to the house where you do have planets. It doesn't mean, it just means you're not going to have it's not going to be a major area of life for you. Which sign are we on now? We finished all the signs. We're going to the third house. So we're on the houses. Circle. We're about to do the third house, which stands for communication, okay? So all the planets in the third house, and you have them, are going to relate somehow to how you communicate. All right. So, third house, house of communication. If you have the sun in your third house, the planet of vitality and individuality, you have an active, creative mind and need to communicate your ideas. Chances are you will be successful in writing, teaching, or lecturing. Your ability to express yourself often makes you a leader in your field. Good points: ability to study, fluent, cheerful personality. Bad points: disorganized, arrogant, tendency for misunderstandings with relatives. Am I reading your text? I am reading your text. What did you say? Yes, I do. But I want you to do it. That's why we're doing this. Any other questions? The book, you can get it online. Most stores have it. Amazon. I can't really say all the stores because TikTok gets really jealous if I start naming places. But it's also on my YouTube. I already read the whole book, and it's put into different chapters. The videos are by chapter, by time. So this is what it's called. No. No. I'm trying to tell you, it's not even about the cash. It's not about the money. I really want you guys to do it by yourself. I can tell you how to interpret your chart. We can go over everything. But that's going to be one time. Then you're going to have another question, and then you're going to want to come back. And then you're going to have another question, and you're going to want to come back. Why not learn how to do it? You know? It's 2026. There are so many books on this subject. So, I don't want to take your money. There are people out here that will do it for you. So, no shade to them. But why not learn it yourself? Is this pre-recorded? No, we're recording it right now. This is live. We live, baby. No, I don't want to take your money. I'm trying to tell you, it's very time consuming. I don't know, y'all be know I be doing this. I literally don't have the time. It's called The Only Astrology Book You'll Ever Need. This is what it looks like. Sorry. Okay, it's very informative, and I'm trying to get just the areas that I want to cover. We gotta cover this part first. So this is when I tell you this is nothing like, and now all this information been out here. They did not give it to us on purpose. Y'all already know me. We gonna put it out there. We gonna read it, and we gonna record it and post it. So if you don't even got time to get it now, you can get it later. What sign am I? Which planet are we talking about? Do you want to know my sun sign? Or my moon? Or my Mercury? Or maybe my Venus? Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn? Which one do you want to know? Which sign I am? I'm crying. You want to know all of them? Well, we'll go over that in the next lesson. I'll give you my whole chart. It's actually already on my Instagram. And it's in a highlight. I put them all in a highlight. So that there's no guessing. It's all right there. So the knowledge you seek is posted. Any other questions? No? Alright. Okay. So let's get to the third house. If you have the moon in your third house, the planet of emotions and instincts. You tend to think emotionally and have a strong imagination. You dislike routine, and your life is marked by many short trips. You have a good memory, often change your opinion, and make a good impression when working with or appearing among the public. Good points: inquisitive mind, good common sense, successful writing about self or family. Bad points: moody, unstable, tendency to interfere in the lives of others. It's okay. So this, if you want, like I said, if you go, I think it's chapter 5. Let's see. Yeah, chapter 5 goes over the moon in more depth. Like this is just a little brief, little summary. But the in-depth, and that's why I said there's so much information in this book. But I'm just trying to give you guys just enough so that we can cover the next book. Because like I said, we've already covered this book. But the next book, if you don't already have this part, you're going to be completely lost. Because they don't explain. So I really want you to be able to have this part. Okay, so if you want to know more about the moon and all that and your sign, go to chapter 5 in this book. It's already on my Instagram. I mean, not Instagram. It's already on my YouTube. All right. Mercury. If you have Mercury in the third house, the planet of the mind, you have an alert manner and are versatile in handling both people and projects. You're practical and efficient at coping with details. People are drawn to your wit and humor and your eloquence in expressing yourself. Good points: curious, logical, intelligent, sociable. Bad points: nervous worrier, indecisive, apt to quarrel with relatives. If you have Venus in your third house, the planet of love and pleasure, you are artistic and have an innate sense of taste and design and win attention for your ideas in a way that people find charming. Your social life may involve taking a number of trips. Love may come about because of travel or through correspondence. Good points: cheerful, creative, eloquent in both speech and writing. Bad points: mentally lazy, superficial, too swayed by emotions. Thank you for loving me. Oh, thank you for them gifts. If you have Mars in the third house, the planet of energy and assertiveness, you are determined and active and usually speak your mind. You like to be a leader and often get your way in things because you are so persuasive. You tend to drive too fast or encounter difficulties while traveling. Good points. Alert, full of new ideas, can express yourself creatively. Bad points. Argumentative, especially with relatives. Vulnerable to loss and legal disputes. If you have Jupiter in the third house, the planet of luck and expansion, you have an optimistic outlook and like to keep busy with a variety of intellectual interests. Your mind is not content with a little knowledge. You want to know more. Travel is a beneficial influence for both pleasure and profit. Good points. Curious and open to new experience. Able to share ideas. Good relationship with relatives. Bad points. Restless, impractical, and reckless. Yes, relentless and reckless. If you have Saturn in the third house, the planet of discipline and limitation, you have a practical and rather serious mind. You want to learn things so you can put them to use. You have good powers of observation and prefer to deal in facts rather than theories. You sometimes procrastinate because you wait to make the right decision. You may encounter difficulties or obstacles in getting an education. Good points. Contemplative, perseverance, consciousness. Bad points. Prone to pessimism, estrangement from relatives. If you have Uranus in your third house, the planet of change and originality, you have an independent and inventive mind and like to follow your own road rather than someone else's. Travel in your life often comes up suddenly. At times, you can be strikingly original in the way you speak and write. Good points. Creative, ingenious, versatile. Bad points. Restless. Friction with relatives because of unconventional ideas. Prone to accidents while traveling. If you have Neptune in your third house, the planet of spirituality and illusion, your mind is impressionable and imaginative, and you may have psychic feelings about other people. You have a deep need to learn about life and are attracted to occult studies. You like to daydream and fantasize. Good points. Idealistic, intuitive, artistic. Bad points. Discontented, may undervalue your capabilities. Confused dealings with relatives. And finally, if you have Pluto in your third house, the planet of transformation, you have a penetrating mind and seek to learn as much as possible. There is an intensity in the way you speak and write, which you can often use creatively. Travel opens new experiences for you and sometimes marks a significant turning point in your life. Good points. Curious. Good concentration. Original in your thinking. Bad points. Suspicious. manipulative. You want to dominate others. Okay? Does anybody have any planets in their third house that they missed because they just got here? Nope. 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 Okay. Bet. Alright, well, we are going to take a break. I gotta go pick up my child. Where's that bookmark at? I don't know where my bookmark is. Oh, it's over there. Okay. So we're gonna put a pin in it. Alright. If you did not have a chance to get your birth chart, please get it for when we come back, okay? We will be going over the 4th house in your birth chart. The 4th house tells you about your home life, past, present, and future, okay? We will be going over the planets in your 4th house in your birth chart. So please have your birth chart. Yes, I do. I have a 15-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 20-year-old. Thank you for them roses. The board is reversed. There is no option to mirror the screen on YouTube. However, thank you for the hundo. It is mirrored on TikTok. So if you want to see it, the board, you can see it mirrored on TikTok. Okay? However, I've been standing in front of this board the whole live. So there also is a screenshot of the board on my Instagram and on my TikTok. It's the last thing I posted. So you can look at the screenshot and read from there if you need to. Also, while I go pick up my child, I'm probably going to eat after. Y'all know I'll be hungry. I'm going to eat something after. So if you need to catch up to where we are at, the live will automatically post on Instagram. The beginning parts actually already have posted because we had to hang up a couple times. So if you need to catch up, this will be the time to do it. All right, once we come back, we're going straight into the 4th house because we still got all these houses to go. And like I said, if we have time, we'll go into the planets, okay? What the planets mean specifically in your house. All right? All right. See you guys later. Bye, TikTok. Thank you for loving me. See you later. It's YouTube.